Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso.
Ms. Teresita, si Ate Ging, mga patuloy po na follow-up questions ko sa inyong testimonya kanina. So, batay po pa rin po dun sa testimonyang binasa nyo kanina, anong taon nga po kayo sinimulang abusuhin ayon sa inyong testimony at alaala?
It was in October of 1993.
October of 1993. So, 31
Years ago.
31 years ago po.
Yes po.
Alright. Tapos ulitin ko lang po yung nabalitaan kong fasting o dry fast. So, hindi kayo pinakain, hindi kayo pinainom ng tubig. Ilang araw nga po ba ginawa ito sa inyo? At wala po bang kasamahan ninyo doon na sinubukang tulungan kayo?
Of course, nobody would ever dare help me because upon instruction na hindi nga ako and they were not even allowed to talk to me, nor even to come near to me. So actually there were two sets of fasting given to me. One set was, there was 10 days fasting. There was no food, no water. It was Ninit Ukyas who gave me the list of instruction, and number one in the list is to do dry fast for straight 10 days.
Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso.
Sino po nagbigay ng instruction?
Ninit Ukyas.
Nenet Okyas.
Yeah.
Okay po.
And then I only was able to eat a little amount of rice and viand on the 39th day because when you had fasted, hindi naman kailangan kakain ka agad. So there was water, then then lugaw, and then finally on the 39th day, that was the time I was able to eat rice. And then after that, there was that second round of fasting, which was even more miserable. It started on February 6, 1999, and there were other workers also. And that was very miserable because it was like this. We were given 5 days or sometimes 7 days. It was a kind of a series of fasting. The first, second, third days were for dry fasting, meaning you were not allowed to drink, of course, to eat food, dry foods. And on the fourth, sometimes it's water, sometimes it's sometimes it's lugaw. Then another 5 days, the same pattern. Sometimes it became 7. It ended on the it ended on the month of May because I have my diary on that.
Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso.
So yung pangalawang dry fasting, 3 buwan, na may iba't ibang klaseng fasting for 5 days or 7 days, 1 to 3 days na dry fasting, on the 4th day may tubig, o yung yung pinakuluan ng sinaing, di ba? Yung pinapainom ng mga lolo't lola natin sa mga baby nung panahon ng World War II.
Yung sabaw ng ano po.
Sabaw. Sabaw ng lugaw. Or lugaw. So over 3 months, may ganitong series ng mga iba't ibang klase ng dry fasting.
Yes po. But I was together with other workers also because they were also punished. But I was the longest. I stayed there for the longest 3 months.
And yung una pong dry fast, yung unang set ng pagpapadry fast sa inyo na 10 araw, walang pagkain, walang tubig. 10 araw na walang tubig at 10 araw na walang pagkain?
Yes po, that's true.
Paano niyo po na-survive yun?
I did not even think I would survive.
Opo.
Because of course, the place was cold. And then every time in the morning when I took a bath, so parang doon ko na lang nalalasap yung tubig. Kaya I keep taking a bath 3 times a day.
Iniinom nyo na lang yung
Halos, hindi ko mainom
tubig
kasi
pampaligo.
natatakot ka namang baka masira yung tiyan mo. Parang ganun lang, parang
And after 39 days, ganun ulit, pinainom muna kayo ng tubig, ng and then pinakain ng lugaw, and finally, kanin.
Yes, on the 39th day. But there was a month, I think it was December, month of December, may kinain na rin ako doon. Kaya lang, again, maybe they were not satisfied with the result. Maybe they wanted me to really slowly kill me. So again, I had another series of fasting that was, as what I have said, it started on February 6th and ended on the month of May.
Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso.
During those 2 times po, yung dalawang set ng dry fasting, yung unang 10 araw at yung pangalawang umabot ng 3 buwan, nakakulong kayo noon or were you restrained in any way?
No, I was just there in the mountain, in the prayer mountain, not really kulong, but the place is big naman. So I had to go to the prayer house. I had to pray, I think, 3 times a day. 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 times a day. 4 and then 6 o'clock in the evening.
And kanina sabi nyo dun sa pangalawang set ng dry fasting sa inyo, over 3 months, may ibang workers pa kayong kasama, bagamat hindi sila kasing tagal na pinadry fast tulad ninyo. Bukod dyan sa pagpapadry fast, yung ganyang abuso sa inyo, meron ka bang na-witness na iba pang mga pang-aabuso sa iba pang workers?
Yes po. Actually, there were workers who were placed in a closed tent. Parang Bartolina, ang tawag namin doon, Bartolina. They were placed in a closed tent. There were even torches placed around because during the evening they would put fire on the torches, and then they put and feed inside the tent, closed tent. And then, of course, they suffered too much heat in daytime and the colds in the evening. But eventually, they managed to escape one by one. But the only one who survived, she was rescued because she was dehydrated already.
Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso.
So the only one who survived, na-rescue,
Yeah, it was Lani Alfaro.
dehydrated, si Miss Lani Alfaro. Ano po nangyari dun sa ibang nag-escape dun sa mga tents na yon?
Actually, because there were ministers who were also used as their security guards, they were actually helped by the ministers to just escape.
So may mga minister din naman na naawa sa kanila at
Meron din po.
tinulungan silang makatakas.
Yes po.
Okay. Tapos, Ms. Teresita Atiging, tama po ba na naging subject kayo ng attempted assassination? Ito po ba yung sinabing ginawa ng angel of death?
Of course, I would really think that way because I was just a mere worker, a civilian, and then why would these people come to my place, bring those firearms? They were there, and if it was only to serve the warrant of arrest for my co-ministers, why would they have a backup car? And I was made to believe that it was really their intention to harass me and to terrorize me in my place.
May dala po silang warrant of arrest? Saan
Yes.
galing po yung warrant ngayon?
As I have stated, there was actually one minister who had a problem, no? Then he was gunned down in Davao City. Then I actually helped him settled in my place. And then
Ito po yung nag-survive ng assassination attempt.
survived. Then he was served by that warrant of arrest. And then, because he was in my house, I helped him actually.
So nung pumunta yung mga may dalang firearms at may backup vehicle, yung sineserve nilang warrant ay para dun sa nag-survive sa assassination attempt na kinupkup nyo.
Yes po, actually para sa kanya. But I was made to believe that ako rin, pwede rin nila akong patayin. Bakit? Because there was one time, there was the because he was that Alex Camia was with a policeman. Bakit kailangan nila kung parang i-scale nila yung opisina ko? Bakit parang tinitingnan nila kung nasaan ako doon? Kung ang gusto lang talaga, if they really wanted the warrant of arrest to be served with that person, why came to my office? For what?
Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso.
Yung Alex Camia ay may kasamang pulis o siya mismo ay pulis o PNP?
No, he was with a policeman, an official policeman during that time. At saka meron din po siyang kasamang, siyempre, driver. At saka, because I only learned later that there were 2 vehicles actually, but during those times, isa lang ang alam ko. Nung nakausap ko yung backup driver, kasi he is with me now, doon ko lang nalaman na may backup driver, may backup vehicle pala sila.
Ngayon, Ms. Teresita Atiging, pioneering member po kayo ng
Yes.
KOJC. Alam nyo rin po ba yung business model ng fundraising ninyo at paano ito nagsimula? Sinabanggit nyo, naging head kayo ng logistics, kayo po nag-organize ng mga caroling, yung mga solicitation. Paano po yun nagsimula at anong alam niyo dun sa kabuuang business model?
Yes po, the caroling really had become, or maybe has even until now become, one of the sources of funds in the ministry. In 1988, I was able to join here in Manila, and we were only caroling the cities within the cities of the NCR. But when I was given the opportunity to lead the fundraising, I made it nationwide. I actually organized the nationwide caroling, Madam Chair. Then what happened? I had every province. I had leaders overseeing 70 to 100 carolers, including adults who would be cooking and washing their clothes. And in the NCR alone, we had, I think, 13 leaders overseeing 20 to 30 members also, do caroling from 8 o'clock in the morning to sometimes 10 o'clock in the evening.
Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso.
Going around the cities of Manila, just caroling, all the people here in the Metro Manila. And then, because I had a quota of, it started with 10 million until it became 15 million. Of course, they also had a quota. I also gave them the quota to meet my total quota of 15 million.
So, sa bawat probinsya, nung ginawa nyo ng nationwide yung caroling, di na lang sa NCR, may isa kayong leader na bawat isa may 17 to 100 carolers. At dito naman sa NCR, kung saan kayo nagsimula, naging 13 leaders na may 20 to 30 members each. So, i-multiply lang po natin. So, sila po yung pinapatawan nyo noon ng quota para mabuo yung 10 to 15 million pesos. Ano po ito? Per day? Per week?
No, that's 1 month of
15 per
caroling.
month.
Yep, yes.
Per month. And so 14 hours a day sila pwedeng nagka-carol, nag-fundraise 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes po.
Ganun po katagal. Alright. Dagang salamat, Ms. Teresita Atiging. Please stay on sa hearing natin dahil yung mga kasama kong senador, mga kauban ko, including our minority leader, may have questions for you. Yes, the minority leader would like to interject now. You have the floor, Senator
Okay.
Coco.
Ma'am Ging, no? So, dito lang ako nababahala sa sinabi mo na dry fasting,
Yes
2
po.
times ang experiences mo. And sa experience mo, it was a form of punishment.
Very much a form of punishment. But it was actually a disguised like a spiritual discipline on me.
Okay,
Because
but pero it was presented still as a disciplinary measure.
Yes
Okay.
po.
But have you seen dry fasting as a form of a ritual or not as a form of a punishment? Is it also practiced there?
Actually, there were two meanings, no? Of course, when we were instructed to do dry fasting, we would always consider it as our sanctification, as our cleansing on us, because we would always believe that we were always made to believe that we were sinners, and we do accept that we were sinners, so we had to go through fasting.
In the two particular, sa mention mo kasi dalawa, ang particular
Yes, po.
cases, hindi ko na matandaan yung mga months. Pero in your particular case, punishment.
At first, I did not consider it as punishment.
Now, wag yung consider, how was it presented to you? You have to undergo dry fasting as a punishment?
Spiritual discipline on the first, talaga spiritual discipline.
Kung andun yung discipline, punishment. Di ba? Okay. Yung
Yes.
pangalawa,
Yes po.
yung pangalawa, was it what? Punishment also, yung pangalawa?
Mas lalong punishment on the second round. Maybe
Okay.
because they saw me alive still kicking. It was not their intention to really see me alive.
Okay.
That's why I had my second series of fasting.
But sa observation mo, tagal ka dyan sa kingdom meron, you also undergo fasting as a part of a ritual, not as a punishment. Tama?
Yes, there were many times.
As severe as dry fasting?
No, mine was actually was the worst.
Yun yung mga fasting na alam natin, yung babawasan
Yes,
mo lang yung
yes,
quantity ng kakainin mo, siguro ganun, ano?
Yes,
Yun ba yung meaning ng, yun yung sa ritual?
Yes,
Okay.
Dadako na po ako kay Apollo Kibuloy. So, Mr. Kibuloy, bibigyan ko po kayo ng pagkakataon na magresponde sa mga akusasyong ito. At marami po sila. Pero unang tanong po, ilan ang miyembro ng KOJC?
Salamat po, Madam Chair, sa pagkakataong ito na makaharap ko ang lahat ng mga nandirito at narinig ko ang kanilang mga testimonya. At magpasimula po tayo kay Miss Valdehuesa.
Pastor Kibuloy, Mr. Kibuloy,
Madam
yung
Chair.
tanong ko muna, ilan ang miyembro ng KOJC?
More or less po sa tingnan ko po muna ang exact na
Kahit in estimate po.
more or less po including mga partners, yung ibig sabihin ng partners yung hindi pa membro pero covenant partner na sila, mga more or less 7 million.
So kasama, so miyembro plus covenant partners, mga 7 million
Oo.
sa inyong pagkabilang. Okay, sa mga follow-up question ko po, dun sa mga testimonya na ng mga victim survivors, sinexually abuse nyo ba ang mga babae at mga menor de edad? At
Wala
ginamit
pong-
nyo ba ang relihiyon para i-sexually abuse
Wala
sila?
pong katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinabi. Kung meron po silang mga charges na kriminal laban sa akin, malaya po silang mag-file ng kaso at doon ko haharapin at sasagutin sa tamang forum sa korte ng ating lupa tulad ng kinakaharap namin ngayon.
And actually, on that matter and for the record, may at least isa sa victim survivors na dati nang naghain ng kaso sa inyo dun sa Davao, kaya lang dinismiss. Kaya inappeal nila sa Department of Justice. Yun naman pong mga testimonya ni na Ms. Valdehuesa at ni Yulia.
Sapagkat ito'y mga kriminal na mga allegations. At ito ay para maging fair, ay maghain po sila ng mag-file sila ng kaso laban sa akin o kanino mang kanilang gustong mag-file laban sa mga kingdom na leaders or members because we are under the law of the Republic. Tulad po kay Masayon, yung kanyang sinabi,
Pastor, i-interrupt ko muna
oo.
kayo doon dahil
Oo.
tinatanong ko muna yung mga
Yes.
testimonya ni na Ms. Valdehuesa at ni
Sorry
Yulia.
po. Sorry po.
Pinalimos niyo po ba yung mga bata para i-sustain ang operasyon ng KOJC at
Wala.
para tustusan ang inyong
wala
lifestyle?
po kaming mga palisiya na magpalimos ang bata. O
Pero
magpalim-
walang polisiya man, pinalimos niyo ba sila?
Hindi po. Wala pong katotohanan yun.
Okay. Yung mga adults po,
Ganun din po.
pinalimos nyo ba sila or pinayagan nyo ba silang maglimos para sa operasyon
Hindi po.
at lifestyle
Wala pong
ng KOJC?
polisiyang ganon ang kingdom na magpalimos.
Wala mang polisiya pero pinalimos nyo ba sila,
Hindi
yung
po.
mga adults?
Hindi po, wala pong katotohanan yun.
Alright. Pinayagan nyo ba yung pang-aabuso at pag-torture sa mga miyembro nyo?
Hindi
Halimbawa yung parusang dry fast.
Hindi rin po polisiya ng kingdom ang batas ng pagparusa ng tao ay ipapasting para mamatay.
Napansin ko po, lagi kayong nagre-refer sa polisiya, pero ang tinatanong ko po ay yung practice.
Practice.
So, pinaabuso nyo ba, pinatotorture nyo ba yung mga miyembro nyo? Pinapa-dry fast nyo ba sila?
Sa freedom of religion po natin, meron tayong separation of church and state. At tulad ng sinabi ko, yung fasting ay voluntary kung tatanggapin mo. Hindi po ipinipilit.
Alright. Kayo ba yung nakaisip nung modus na piliting magpakasal yung mga miyembro nyo na hindi naman magkarelasyon para manatili sila sa ibang bansa? Sino pong nakaisip nun, nung modus na yon?
Because this is under the investigation already, I invoke my right to remain silent on this issue.
Alright. Quickly lang po kay Ate Gingging, yung dry fast po ba, voluntary ba ito?
No, for sure.
No. Alright. Salamat
It
po.
was an instruction.
Instruction. So, hindi siya voluntaryo, instruction or utos siya. Alright. Salamat po. Mr. Kibuloy, boses nyo ba yung nasa audio file kanina, yung binabantaan mo yung si Stephanie o si Pane?
Kailangan po i-authenticate kasi ngayon malakas ang AI.
So pero boses nyo ba yon yung nagbabanta kay Pane o kay Stephanie?
It appears na parang boses ko. Pero
Alright.
hindi ko po ma-authenticate kasi ngayong panahon na to malakas ang AI.
At
Kaya-
sino po si Stephanie Ibarra? Sino po si Pane?
Isa po sa mga manggagawa.
Manggagawa. Ano po yung relationship o relasyon nyo kay Pane o Stephanie Ibarra?
Isa pong manggagawa.
Isang manggagawa. Pero hindi ba totoo na kinupkup nyo siya, kinuha nyo sa inyong pag-aalaga nung siya ay 2 years old pa lamang?
With this issue po kay Pane, I invoke my right din to remain silent.
All right. So, pero sa pagkaalam po namin, inalagaan nyo siya nung bata pa lamang siya. So, parang naging tatay kayo ni Stephanie o Pane Ibarra. Tama po ba?
I invoke my right to remain silent
Invoke.
po sa issue na yan.
Okay. Kasi sa audio file naman po, sa kabila nung sa pagkaalam ay kinupkup nyo siya nung 2 years old pa lamang, bata pa lang siya, na parang naging tatay kayo niya. Pero sa audio file, bakit parang asawa? Asawa nyo kung ituring itong si Stephanie o Pane.
I invoke my right to remain silent on that
Alright.
issue rin po.
Ngayon po, kino-confirm nyo po ba na meron kayong isang hukbo o private army sa inyong disposal? At ano po iyang tinatawag na angels of death?
Yan po ay kasinungalingan at kung yan ay akusasyon, inihiling ko ang accuser na mag-file siya ng kaso laban sa akin.
Okay. So, sinasabi nyo kasinungalingan yung isang hukbo na nasa inyong disposal.
Opo.
Pero ano naman po yung angels of death?
Hindi ko po, invento po nila yan eh.
Invento lamang. Ano ang, kanina po kasi sinabi po ni Sir Edward na yung, ano ba ito? Yung, saan na ba yung notes ko? Teka ha. Okay, Edward. Yung 2nd Metro Davao Signal Battalion ay may kaugnayan sa Task Force Davao. So, ano ang ugnayan kung mayroon ng Angels of Death dun sa DDS o Duterte Death Squad naman?
Wala po akong personal knowledge niyan, so I
Walang
invoke
personal
my
knowledge.
right to remain silent on that issue also.
All right. Tapos, pwede pwede nyo bang ibahagi sa amin, mula sa perspektiba nyo, yung detalye ng law enforcement kung papaano nakuha nila ang kustodiya sa inyo?
Pakiulit po.
Mula sa inyong pananaw at karanasan, paano pong nakustodiya kayo sa kamay ng gobyerno, ng ating law enforcement
With
agencies?
that issue po, I also invoke my right to remain silent.
All right. Sige.